Hello, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me today on our watercolor journey. We are going to make a beautiful lilac bouquet in a vase, like a mason jar, but we're gonna add some 3D elements to it. So we're going to draw out our pattern, how we want our vase and our flowers to look. So I'm gonna start at the bottom with kind of the bottom of our mason jar. Kind of go from there, you know, creating the sides. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then here is the, because we are gonna mainly do this in paint, but I want to have a sense of size because we're going to then create our lilacs separately, and I want to be able to know kind of what size I need to make them. Okay, so that's a good start. Okay, and this is a 4x6 card that basically we're just gonna cut a slit in here and then add in our lilacs. Let's move on to our lilacs. So I have basically wet some violet, cobalt blue, and rose madder, and we're gonna use these colors to kind of make all different shades of our lilacs. So we want like a real diluted purple here. I'm gonna do kind of make my own purple with the rose madder and the cobalt blue. We want to add a lot of variance in opacity and color. I'll do one that's a little more on the pinky side. Even maybe add in some violet to that mixture. You can use whatever blues, purples, pinks that you have. That's the fun of it, is being able to kind of create your own mixture, what you like. So now is kind of the fun part. If it's easier for you, you can create some shapes with the stem. Lilacs start really thin at the top and get wider at the bottom. You can always kind of make a rough outline shape for yourself to stay in, something like that. Or, you know, you can just eyeball it. I'm gonna start deep at the top, wet my brush, and just use the shape of my brush to kind of, you know, create these petals. In each layer I want to add, you know, some different colors. Can also, if you wanted, you can do a whole, just really light layer, and then you can come in and add, you know, your different colors. It's really, you know, this is kind of the fun part because really anything goes, and might take you a couple lilacs to get kind of warmed up, to figure out the color shades that you like, the petal shapes that you like. Once it's dry, you can add in some more dimension. I'm liking to stay closer to this purple, not so much with the blues and the pinks. So I'm gonna try one, maybe that's a little bit more like that. Kind of maybe a big one, the star, the centerpiece. And then what I can do is come in when I'm finished with the shape and add in the hints of the pinks or the blues. That's stunning. That's not a very muted one, but it's very pretty. And after this dries, you can even come in and do a little bit more. So here where we have our white spaces, you can kind of create these stems. And it is nice when it's still a little bit wet, so you can kind of get that bleed. And this one should give us some good bleeds. I'm gonna try and make the stem kind of as long as I can, so it gives me a little more wiggle room when I am laying them down on my card. So there you go, just a semblance of the brown. It's just fun to play with this, you know, to add the layers, to blend the colors, and to just see how your paints work. I don't know, I feel like that's something I still learning as I go. All right, so we're gonna let these dry a little bit and then we're gonna cut them out. And when we do, we're gonna kind of make sure and leave a little white space around just so it makes sense with our stems and in our arrangement. All right, so here we can kind of move to our vase if we want. So from here, I have just kind of erased some of my lines, but left it still a little noticeable for me to be able to have kind of, you know, just a sense of where everything's gonna go. And when painting things like water, it's more about painting what's not there, the negative space. We're gonna mix in a little bit of the ultramarine with a little bit of burnt sienna. Oh, that's pretty. Be a little bit more blue. Yeah, kind of a little bit like a blue-gray. And so we can kind of start to create, you know, just kind of our outline, and then use our water to just bring that to life. Kind of creating, you know, back here. And really just blending out these bits into the glass. If it's easier for you to just do like a vase and paint it all one color, then that would be beautiful too. But really less is more with these. And then once we get our stems in, you know, we're gonna be drawing our stems in there too. All right, so I think we're dry. You can be as precise as you want, as loose as you want. It's really however you want your bouquet arranged. But I'm even gonna go down pretty far with these stems. Very nice. All right, so as we work on our last lilac, you know, I wanted to mention that this kind of art trend of doing these 3D bouquets is not new, but the beauty about how long they've kind of stuck around is that you can make them your own, do them so many times that you kind of think, oh wow, you know, I can do this in a different way. And so that's really how art, you know, transforms itself, which is really cool. And what we each as artists bring to the table, that's different. Okay. So I think one thing I didn't do was kind of bring round our vase. And so I'm going to do that now. There we go, and just kind of let that water Let that paint work itself through the water. Yeah, that's pretty. All right, so here we have created a little slit, and we are going to add in our flowers. Kind of make sure they stay within the card range. And this is the fun part, getting to arrange them, getting to see who overlaps who. Okay, I like how that's looking. So now I'm going to just put in a piece of tape here, and then I'm going to cut these. Okay, I'm gonna add more tape. Great. Very nice, isn't that beautiful? And then we can add, we're going to add some detail here with the stems. All right, so I'm going to put a little slightly smaller piece of watercolor paper over this. Use my adhesive, whatever glue you have. You probably don't want to use anything that's really dimensional. So like the foam tape, you probably don't want to use that, but other than that, you're good. All right. There we go, beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to create our stems in here. I think I'm gonna re-wet this section here. And I'm gonna take my 4/10 brush and my Van Dyke Brown, which is the color that we used for our stems. And I'm gonna start by kind of creating the stems here. And then as they hit down there, they're gonna be, you know, a little blurred because of the water. And then we can even kind of, you know, get them a little more like that. There we go. I'm just loving how that looks. It's so pretty and simple. If you wanted to add some splatter or a border, you know, that would be nice too. In fact, I think I'm going to use some of the purple that I have left over and create a border around. And this will be kind of fun because I can use all different shades of purple. Interesting. This purple is so deep and rich. Oh, that just brings it to a whole nother level. I love that. So pretty. So there you have it, our beautiful 3D lilac vase. And you can add sprigs of green in there if you want. You can paint on leaves. You can do a splatter background. Really just make it your own. This is a quick and easy base for you. And then once you kind of get this down, then you can kind of run with it. And that's the beauty of it. That's what I love. So thank you everyone for joining me today and really helping me on my watercolor journey. And I hope that I help you on yours. So make it a great day and I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye.